Other question I have here, what percentage should go to rent, pay towards paying others in terms of rent? But the most important thing, those who have more will get more. And something Madam Victoria mentioned, if you don't plan yourself well, at some point you'll blame people. You say you help them, but which is a very, very important part to tackle or to address, whereby you are receiving the money, but there are other people you are helping. How far can you go in terms of assisting them? The budget will tell you how much. If there is anyone you support every month and you know this is what I do, can you put them in the budget and see what is remaining? Because if they are not in the budget, they ask the money and you send, it means maybe you're sacrificing money for school fees. All money that is meant for paying yourself. When you get to an airplane, during the instructions, there's one thing they say, in case of anything, in case of eventuality or anything happening, the first thing, there's those gas masks. You should put yourself first. Not your child. You have your child, you have your wife, your husband, your loved ones, you have them there. But the first thing the instructions, actually it tells you that screen, it will tell you first you start with put your gas mask on. Then you help your young one. Imagine your child. But it's telling you, because you're the one you want to help them, first of all, that means is you need to help yourself to be able to help the other person. You need to put your gas mask on to be able to save the other person. You need to pay yourself first and secure yourself before saying, I am securing someone else. Otherwise you drown the two of you. Yeah? So you need to secure yourself. That is mine. So you need to pay yourself first. Before you pay others. That's simple. That's a rule. Simple. And money may not be enough. You may not have. And what we say, human needs, they are universal. They keep on changing. And I talked about the law of money. So there's no time money will ever be enough. Needs will always be graduating. After one need, another need comes, another need, and you'll always find yourself, in case you borrow money because of emergency will always appear. You borrow and borrow and borrow again. So I would like now to go to questions. The next, say 20 minutes. So I'll ask questions and answer. I'll answer. Yeah. The floor is open. Yes, please.
So my question is about debt.
Yes.
Debt repayment. Yeah, so I have a user, I am sorry, from a loan shark, I borrow from you. Whatever it is, I did with it. When I come to my budget, the one you have taught us is that the
income. Pay your tithes, offerings, then pay yourself, then pay others.
Where is debt?
Debt.
Is it others, or is it now after I have paid myself, I pay my debt to start getting out of the hole I'm in? Where do you put debt?
Okay. One, the way the debt should be, we are talking of good debts, bad debts. Bad debts. Good debts, we are saying, it's money you acquired to purchase something or to do an investment. That investment, because when you borrow money, it comes at an interest. I did some example here of, I'm sure what I was saying, you borrowed 60,000 at 90%. How much is that, Hagai? 6%, 90% of the 60,000. 54? This is what it means. I borrowed 60,000 in a year because I've been borrowing at 7.5 every month. So I have multiplied that for a year. It means if I was to borrow 60,000, I'll go and tell the bank, I am borrowing 50,000 or 60,000 today, but I am willing to pay 90%. What does this 90% mean? This money, 54,000, it is the extra money on top of your loan. You borrowed 60, but you're saying on top of that, I want to pay with 90, which is equivalent to 54,000. So in total, you'll pay how much? In total, you'll pay 54,000 plus 60. So you'll have about that's 114. So you borrowed 60, you've paid equivalent amount of 114. And that's what happens when you go even to a Shylock. Shylock, you go today, they'll give you money. Maybe even you go and say you want money for school fees. They'll give you money today, generously. The next month at an interest which is so high, maybe 30% a month. 30% a month. You'll say it was an emergency. But this emergency at the end it was bad, because how can you borrow money at 30%? You will pay that money. And they are very keen. You borrow, you pay. You borrow, you pay. They will time you. That time when you are not able to repay, that's the time they come repossessing your things. That's the time they tell you, we want our money, we have changed the terms and all that, and they will acquire whatever you had given as a security. So, debt is good. If you are borrowing that debt to invest, imagine you borrowed money and you have invested that money where you are earning an interest. Let's say you borrowed this 60. Maybe, and I'm discouraging, borrowing this 60,000 at 90%, it's not possible. But that's what you do through this mobile app. Money is accessible. Online, I can access 2,000, I can access 1,000. It's a habit. You are building a habit which will be so hard to break at the time you want to quit. It's like betting. When you hear people bet, it starts with something small. They continue, they get addicted to it. Debt is also addictive. You start with a 500 shillings. Sometimes you borrow without even an idea why did you borrow. But because it's available. KCB M-Pesa can give me how much? 5K. Go for it. There's Fliza. I don't even know how it works. Go for it. Those opportunities, they are there. But it starts small. Even when you'll have money, when you say, right now you may say, I don't have money. When you'll have more money, you'll find yourself still freezing, doing that freezer. It's a habit. It keeps on building. So you need to break it. So, borrow money to invest. When you invest, you are earning an interest. So let's say you borrowed 60,000. You have invested in a money market fund. Zach, do it for me. Let's say you invested 60,000, just simple. You've invested this money at 10%, like a money market fund. That's like 6,000, eh? You got 60,000. You invested somewhere, you have earned 6,000. Even if this money you are paying an interest of, like, let's say 5%, you have earned more. Interest is able to offset the interest. You have not gone back to your pocket. You have not gone back to your pocket to repay the loan. Even if you are repaying the loan, maybe you bought something that is also appreciating in value. And you know, when I sell this thing, I am able to get this return. This is what we call good debt. You've borrowed the money, you've invested, then whatever you've invested, maybe could be a business you have boosted, you have earned a better sales, you have some more money. This more money is able to help you pay this interest. But if you borrowed and consumed, which is happening to many people, you go back, pay the principal of 60,000, and on top of that pay another money of 54,000, which is interest. It's not, there's no free money. Yeah, even the you mentioned that something. The hustler fund has an interest. You know, there's no free money. It has an interest. So, and most of the time when I ask people, they say, I had an emergency. But if you sit down and assess that emergency, it wasn't an emergency. It was lack of financial planning. Someone didn't have a budget. So if you have a budget, and I'm assuming here I'm dealing with, let's say you have these loans, you need to, first of all, is not to run away, is to accept you have that habit. And that habit of borrowing those whatever, you need to replace that thing with another good habit. It's a bad financial habit. You need to replace it with a good financial habit. And how you do it, it is by this budgeting. So instead, these loans you have, you will not like pay them today everything. You check how much do you have. If you have 2 loans, maybe one loan is taking some amount of money, let's say 10,000, or let's say you have 2 loans. One is worth maybe how much? I work with what figure? Give me an example. 500K. Let's say you have 500K, and maybe you have another one which is like 40K. The rule is don't default on any. You know, the thing is to accept, and you can negotiate better payment plan. You can prorate. What I say, you should invest. You can still invest even when you are paying debts. You can invest even when you are in debt. So you don't have to stop everything. Useme mimi ni loans kwanza namalizana nazo, I'm not going to invest. No. Investment, it's you securing yourself. The other side, we are saying you have some debts that you had acquired. I'm trying to imagine the 500,000 should have gone to something good. Maybe you bought a land somewhere. Land, maybe you are getting some appreciating in value. I'll talk about land and cash flow at the retirement. So this land, maybe you bought it at 500, maybe it's at 600 right now. It's a good debt. Why? Because there's an appreciation on the value of that land. If you sell, you can. So this loan, whatever you pay monthly, put it in the budget among paying others. How much do you pay monthly? Maybe it's your SACCO or CHAMA or bank. Put that money. If it's 5,000 that you pay towards this loan or 10,000, weka pale kwa budget as monthly expense paying others. But you know very well, this is your asset. But like this 40, this 40 you bought it, ulinunua TV, you ulichukua loan ukanunua TV, that's a bad debt. You're watching the TV, it has depreciated in value, maybe it's worth 20,000 right now. But you will have to pay. And maybe you borrowed some money at a higher interest. So if you have a loan that is higher interest rate, start with that loan, repay it fast. Because the more you delay with that loan, the more it's taking more money from you. So your loan, ilipe iondoke. Ile yenye iko na interest friendly and you can continue with it and you committed to an investment, pay it at your pace. And avoid, the thing is, if you are in debt, we tell you stop digging deeper. You're already in a hole. Stop digging deeper. Umeanguka kwa shimo, you want to dig deeper. So we tell you stop there. You need help. And the first thing is accept. If you are in debt and maybe you've been trying to run away from maybe mtu mwenye alipatia debt ama whatever, utawekwa CRB or all those things and all that, and you see with what the government is pushing with this given an identification. You know that's in US they have the social security whatever, that number. It tells everything. Your state has everything. The moment you present your card to a bank, wanarani hivi tu, just your number. Waambie namba yangu ni gani? They will see your credit rating, everything, and they'll tell you, we cannot lend you money. You are not good credit, whatever. So what you are saying is, your credit rating, you need to be good. Don't default on a loan of 2,000. Ulichukua zinaitangwa aje hizi. These things, tala. And this guy, they listed you on a CRB. It's not worth it, 2,000. Pay it and follow up the process of getting out of that CRB. You know, so that is what I'm saying is the loans at higher interest rate, work to repay it as fast as you can. But I'm not saying that now you stop everything at you sleep a school fees. Now you don't pay your rent, you don't pay yourself because you have a debt. No, you can still invest even when you're in debt. You just need to restructure. You can renegotiate the terms. If it's a loan that you know is taking more money from you, you can go to the lender or the person who gave that credit and ask them for more time, restructure it. Like I remember the time of SACCO, the time of COVID, I had a facility. And our SACCO was very good, was very, accommodative. Where they said, in case we understand there's a tough time and all that, you can renegotiate your payment plan. And I told them, actually, this is what is happening and all that and all that. I would like to get more time. When I have more time for the loan, my monthly payment reduced. So whatever they was going to add that loan repayment, it was small. And I didn't feel, and I was able to adjust and all that. So those are the financial plan. But if I ran away, I said, I'm not going to pay you guys. So interest, it is going to add everything. Everything is going to make it very expensive for you. By the time you are coming back to pay, yeah, maybe you have a help loan. You know, pay it bit by bit. You'll finish. You have this, maybe you may say you want to, one day you may require the whatever, there's that certificate, compliance, that show you continue paying. It will show somewhere. So you need to be in a good book. So that is what I would say in terms of debt. Another question I have here, what percentage should go to rent, towards paying others in terms of rent? So depending, I had given an example of 10 to 20% of your income, that margin. But is that what we do? And I said you can even be lower than 10% by making sure that you are not changing houses as your income is growing. You can stick around, manage that, and one of the example, and I think if you go to our pages, you'll see it, our MD gave it, was the wrong apartment. Maybe you're in the wrong apartment. And what does the wrong apartment say? Your whole year, your annual rent, should not be more than your 3 months income. So let's work with a case of someone who is paid 40,000 or 30,000. This person with 30,000 is paying a rent of how much? 12,000. If we work with 12,000 times 12, 144. 144, I think, yes. 30,000 times 12, no, actually not 12, it's 3 months. 30 times, that's 90. You're in the wrong apartment. You are in the wrong apartment. Your rent in a year is more than your 3 months income. Paying 144, well, 3 months income is 90,000. So a lot of adjustments need to be done. And what I'm saying is, if you're not moving out, then you need to make sure your streams of income, you're increasing your income such that your income is growing, and this is less than, because how much is this? If you do in a month is let's say 12,000 divided by 30,000 gives you what again? 12,000 divided by 30. Yeah, divided by 30,000. It's 40. 12,000 divided by 30,000. Eh? 0.4 times 100. 40. So your 40% of your income is going towards paying rent. So it is 30,000 minus 12,000. So hata hujabakisha, you only left with 60,000. You need to pay God. You need to pay your tithes. You need to pay yourself. You need to do shopping. You need to transport. Then you know what that means. But what I tell you is, you can reduce this from 40 up to even to between 10 to 20% by making sure you're not like moving out, because that's the mistake we do. Income kameongezeka, you realize where you stay, there's no security.